What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, your James Carkid, and today we're back in Greenville with a video that a fan actually suggested. So I'll put the name on the screen of the fan that suggested it right here. I'm not exactly sure who that was, but thank you for suggesting this video. We're going to be going over some of the best EVs in Greenville for role-playing. Now, role-playing is a suggestive term. Role-playing to many people has a lot of different meanings, but from my perspective of role-playing, it's basically like playing in a role-play server and following all of the rules. So these are my top 5 most realistic role-play EVs in Greenville. We're going to start it off basic. I wanted to get this car out of the way first, but you can't forget about Tesla. It's definitely not a car brand we all like, but you can't forget about them. This is the Tesla Model Y. Now, I have the performance version because when I roleplay, I am definitely more of a speed type of guy and performance type of role player. I like to go fast. I like to drive cars that go fast, but still follow some of the laws. And this definitely does all. Of course, it is a semi-practical family SUV. It gets good gets good electric range. It's like 300-something miles or something, and it's fast off the line. So if you want to race somebody, there's a chance you may win. So you can see a little acceleration there. So it's definitely not slow. Plus, oh, I popped my tire apparently. Anyways, it's definitely not slow. I will say that. And if you're looking for an electric car that has a lot of performance in it, has a lot of speed, looks decent. I think the black definitely looks better than any other color, but the proportions are a little bit weird. But you could always go for the Model 3. This, I think, it's like 60 grand or something. It's definitely an option to keep on your guys' list if you're looking for an electric SUV. All of these are basically SUVs, really. I don't have anything that's not an SUV on this list. I was going to do the Tesla Model 3, but everybody knows that. So I decided to go for a little bit of unique cars. Speaking of unique, this is the Fisker Ocean, a brand new concept car that was just added to Greenville in the last update. Of course, it's an EV, so it has no sound, but the lighting is super realistic on this thing. Turn signals in the back are super hard to see, but the mirrors look pretty cool, and you have a little turn signal on the side there. So that is pretty cool. Now, same with this. A lot of the EVs on my list here are going to be fast. There's no way you can't buy a slow. There's no way you can buy a slow EV because that off-the-line torque just launches the car. None of these obviously are Tesla Model S flat speed, but none of them are Nissan Leaf 0 to 60. And again, this one I believe is a 5-seater, so it's practical for those family role plays, and it also gets the gas mileage, or electric range. I keep saying gas mileage, like we're talking about electric cars. If I say gas mileage and don't correct myself, just know I'm talking about electric range. But yeah, this one definitely is a lot more stylish. It looks a lot better than the Tesla. And, you know, it may not perform as good as the Tesla, but I would honestly sacrifice performance for some looks, in my opinion. Plus, this may even be a 7-seater. I don't think it is. No, it's only a 5-seater, but it definitely is a little bit of a bigger car, and it definitely looks better than the Tesla. Moving on, these are no specific order, by the way, guys. So if you think I'm putting these in order, they're not in order. But next up is the Polestar 2. Definitely an electric car that a lot of people skip over because they just go straight to Tesla. A stylish car from Volvo's sub-brand. This brand, Polestar, was created by Volvo, but it's not Volvo. So, it's kind of like a sub-brand of Volvo. Hopefully you guys know what I mean, but same with this one. A lot of performance, 5 seats. This one's a little bit smaller, so this could probably fit more in the hatchback range rather than full-size SUV like the last two I've had. But by no means is this thing small. It's also not slow, like I've been talking about in the past couple cars. It's not slow at all. The proportions on this thing are definitely better than the last two cars. And I guess you could call this thing a sedan, even though I think it is a... I guess it is a sedan. So, most of these cars are SUVs, but this one's a little exception. Again, this is the performance trim, because I like to go a little bit faster. In role plays, I don't usually drive this thing, but if I'm looking for a car with good gas mileage or electric range, this is definitely a good option. So far, I think this is the best looking car on the list, in my opinion. Moving on, let's move on to the Volvo C40. This is a car that many people probably don't know about because it's not sold in the US. So for anyone living in the US who doesn't know about this car, I'll let you off with a free pass. But anyone over there in the UK that doesn't know about this car, you don't get a free pass. That startup time is really annoying. Same with the other Polestar. This is a Volvo, so it's not a Polestar. Basically the same thing, that just this is from the main brand instead of the sub-brand. This thing looks good. The lighting on this thing is super cool. You can see like the dashes of light in the brake lights, and the third brake light positioning is super good. Again, the proportions on this thing are definitely questionable. This kind of hump here is a little questionable. I think if the car was a little smaller, a little shorter, it would definitely look better. But it kind of looks similar, a little worse than the Tesla Model Y. The front looks great, don't get me wrong. The front looks just like the Volvo XC40, and it looks great. But you move to the back, the taillights are super cool, but I don't think that really makes up for the weird proportions. Again, another 5-seater car. There's no 7-seaters on this list, so they're all 5 seats. And, of course, not as fast as the other car, because this is more of a family-oriented car. But not slow. I mean, there's 100. Plus, you can actually see these turn signals, like on the Fisker, where you can literally barely see the turn signals. Is it the Fisker or is it the Karma? Because I think like Fisker changed to Karma or whatever, but I don't know. Again, all of these cars are pretty similar in range too. Like 250, 300 miles is a good number for range. But I think I would definitely look at some of my other options before I decided on this one, because it just looks a little funky. And then, to wrap this video up, the final car on our list is the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Probably the best looking car on this list. The styling on this thing is very misleading. You guys can see it looks like a small hatchback. And I am yet to see this car in real life. But until I do, I still believe that this is a small hatchback. Many people are saying it's the size of a full SUV or a crossover, but I am believing so far that this is a bigger, manlier hatchback. This does not look like an SUV at all. This is definitely the best looking car on the list, no doubt about it. This lighting is super cool. You can see like the pixelated lights in the back and in the front. It all has such a unique vibe. And your 3D lights in the front look super cool. That little light bar that goes across the front there. Super small. touches on these types of cars make such a big difference. And means this is a hatchback. I'll change my mind if I see it in real life, but so far it's a hatchback. It's not as fast as the other two cars. Once you get above 100 miles an hour, it kind of dies out. And off the line, it's also not as slow, but it's still 5 seats. It's cheaper than most of the other cars. Most of the other cars top 60 grand. This one is more like mid-40s. So it's cheaper than the other cars, looks better, but you're sacrificing performance. It's not really a big deal though. Practicality is still just as good, 5 seats. And this would be a tough one to beat. I think out of all of them, I'd probably go for the Ioniq 5 in my opinion. But with that said though, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much again for the suggestion. Your name is at the beginning of the video. I honestly cannot remember your name. But thank you for the suggestion, whoever suggested that I make this video. This was a video that was easy to make. A lot of people are asking me to make hard videos, but this video was definitely a video that was easy for me to make. So thank you so much for suggesting this video. Please consider subscribing, smash the like button, please consider subscribing, go join the Discord server, fan server, link will be in the description and in the comments, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.